I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they are here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. Yeah. The Superman movie came out this summer, and shucks, golly gee, I loved it. Superman's my man, the man we should all strive to be, a hero's hero. The standard for being not just a good man, but the very best of us, a wholesomeness, which is exactly why Superman is appropriately nicknamed the Boy Scout. Scouting America, formerly the Boy Scouts, is chartered by Congress to serve our nation's youth by instilling the values of the Scout Oath and Law. Scouting America aims to prepare young people for lives of impact and purpose. They welcome at every level of their movement youth and families who wish to live such a life of impact and purpose guided by the Scout Oath and Law. Discovery is at the heart of scouting. Whether it's a campout, derby race, or hike on a trail, they believe every adventure helps them uncover a little more about themselves. They build the foundations for humility and compassion, strengthening character through actions to prepare youth for a lifetime of leadership. Up and away, because today I'm fortunate to speak with Shannon Roberts, CEO and Scout Executive of Scouting America's Catalina Council. Shannon, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm very excited we finally got together because we were trying to get this all organized, and obviously we want to hang out so much that it was almost tough. But yes, I was really pumped learning all about the organization, getting a little more up to date since it is now Scouting America. That's what it is. The Boy Scouts have evolved, and it's really great to see all the things that are still happening. Obviously, not much has changed except for the amount of impact that you're actually having, growing as an organization and expanding, doing new things, fun events coming up. We'll talk about some of that. But right now, why don't you give me a little 101 of what Scouting America is all about?
Absolutely. So again, as you know, it's all about investing in our community, our youth, and we do that through what we call our 4 aims, and that's, citizenship, leadership development, character development, and physical fitness. And we do all that while emphasizing the great outdoors. So it's really about getting kids involved in their community, teach them how to be productive citizens of our society. And as I like to say, it's about being social without the media.
Well said. If there's ever been a time where we got to get kids to do more things outdoors, all right, I can tell that when you were growing up, you probably naturally did that like I did because mom just said, get out.
Absolutely.
And there weren't as many options or nearly as many screens back when we were growing up. And that's really important, because we really do got to get kids off the couch. I do this whole thing where I like to, it's a movement called stand against couches.
Okay.
That's what I like to talk
like
about.
It.
All these couch potatoes got to get up moving and getting out just outside. And especially doing things outside where they're really learning, adventuring, and picking up new skills. And I'm sure the most important thing when I interview kids on here sometimes happens at Lifestyle Tucson. The number one thing that they care about these days, making new friends.
Absolutely.
And that's what Scouting America is all about as well, is making those new friends, shared experiences. And it's for every age level. So why don't we talk about all the different age levels and what the rankings are, because I got them listed here, whether they're programs or whether they are just what they are. Let's talk about them, because we got Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, Venturing, Sea Scouts, which is interesting, and Exploring. So let's talk about, from the very beginning, the Cub Scouts. Tell me all about the Cub Scouts.
Absolutely. Our Cub Scouts are really, the program's designed to focus on youth from at the start of kindergarten on up to, I believe it's 5th grade.
Okay.
And really it's where you want to get kids engaged, because what we learned is the sooner we engage them, the more likely they are to continue on throughout scouting, all the way up to, what we call Life Scout or Eagle Scout.
Yeah, Eagle Scout. One of my good friends growing up was an Eagle Scout, and I was always just like in awe of him, because to me, that's a big deal. I feel like I missed out. I got a little FOMO about the Boy Scouts, about Scouting America when I was growing up. It's called Boy Scouts. I kind of always did want to do it, but it just never happened. And I was a little envious of my friends that did get to do it. So meeting a friend that's like, he's an Eagle Scout. And I'm like, are you serious? That's so impressive. And it is impressive. You even have a big dinner recognizing all these Eagle Scouts coming up, I believe, in the spring. We'll talk about that in a little while, because it is very important. As
yes,
young as
it is.
kindergarten.
It is very important.
Tell me now about Scouts BSA.
So Scouts BSA are, that's for what we call our older youth. They go up to age 17. So once you leave Cub Scouts, you go to what we call a Webelos, or Arrow of Light is I think the new term for it. And that's where you transition from the Cub Scout into the Scout BSA with the older kids. And that's where you get your big outdoor adventures. your overnight camps. You get to participate in the archery and our shooting sports and a lot of different things that older kids do. And that's where you really start to understand. And it's what we're shaping kids for life. We're preparing them for life by teaching them, the real applicable life skills and, survival skills and things that are essential to being productive throughout our community and just making through life in general.
That's right. You got to reward them with those merit badges. That's
absolutely.
Remember, folks, merit is a noun, the quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. So merit badge is very important. And they can earn those whenever. It's not even like a set scheduled thing. Can't kids pitch, I'm going to do this project or I'm going to do this thing and try to get this merit badge? Is that how it still works?
Absolutely. There's a ton of merit badges that you can sign up for. There's even like a radio merit badge.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And it's designed to find what interests you as a youth, right?
Okay.
And the model here is do your best. It's not like you're going to do a right or wrong or you're testing out of something, although there are some rigorous things that you've got to do to complete the merit badge, but it's about giving your best effort, right?
Yeah.
And there's a wilderness merit badge. There's you name it. I mean, we've got it.
What are some of the newest ones? I bet robotics has become like a merit badge, right?
We do have a robotics merit badge, and I just saw something on our national meeting the other day where there's now an AI merit badge that's going to be coming out.
Fascinating.
So yeah, again, we're trying to be cutting edge, but we also want to make sure that people and our youth understand that, if there's something that you need to know and skill-wise, we're here to help you. And it's, our model's prepared for life for a reason because we want to make sure that we prepare you to learn what it is that you need help with.
That's excellent. And again, that's what you've always been about. So now let's keep going through some of these other groups because we go from Scouts BSA to venturing. What is the next level? What is venturing?
So venturing it's kind of a continuation of Scouts BSA. It's, it takes you from age 14 to 20, and it's more of the leadership model of scouting. So you get some specific niche type activities that you can really focus on.
Yeah, and it looks like even like helping plan some of these events, helping do some more of the behind the scenes, probably
Absolutely.
for some of these younger scouts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's huge. And now this one grabbed my attention because Sea Scouts, that's exciting. It just sounds like this is how you're going to learn how to do a lot of stuff when it comes to maritime activities.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is definitely a maritime activity-like program. I always look back and think about, when you think of the Navy,
yeah.
A lot of the activities that deal with maritime stuff, I mean, these scouts get it,
Yeah.
A lot of boating time, a lot of things to deal with the aquatics or the ocean, so to speak.
Yeah, there's a lot of the boating safety, life-saving, CPR,
Absolutely.
scuba. I mean, that's amazing. Just
Absolutely.
being able to get some of that because what kid actually gets to try scuba? That equipment, all that stuff, that's the point of Scouts is to get exposed to all these different things so you can find out if that's the thing that you love. Have you ever actually gone scuba diving? Have you ever done that? Or even
I have. I've done scuba diving on vacation.
Isn't it something else?
It is awesome. It's awesome.
Mind-blowing.
One of the impressive things about the Sea Scouts is I had the opportunity to speak with a youth who actually chose for one of his projects to be a coral reef, right? So he took and made a coral reef to kind of help with sustainability in the ocean. So
wow,
yeah,
that is so. Again, even science in there, right? Even
Absolutely,
it's not just about that event. That's great. Okay, one of the last things listed was exploring. Well, exploring and discovering your futures. It's just about preparedness for really getting into the adult world.
It is, and so the exploring program deals with. Like an example would be we have an exploring program with a couple of the police units here in town.
Oh, wow.
So like with TPD, Pima County Sheriff's Department, we have exploring units. And these are people or youth that want to get some experiential career learning. So if they want to become a police officer, if they want to become an EMT, there's exploring posts that kind of get them prepared for that.
At any age, that's an incredible thing to experience because seeing's believing.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, that's really what it is. And you're trying to get these kids exposed to a lot of activities and a lot of different things. One thing that I did notice, let me try and find it, because I am on the website, which is scouting.org is the big one. But then also you can go regionally right here to catalinacouncil.org to see all the fun events that are coming up, some of the other programs happening. Go and follow them on Instagram and Facebook as well. It is all the Catalina Council, and that's an important part of what we're doing here locally. But let's talk about what we're doing here locally because you have a big fundraiser coming up, and it's only the second one. So it's going to be the second Legends Ball of Tucson, November 15th, as the Catalina Council of Scouting America. It's their second big ball, an elegant evening of fine dining, dancing, and a spirited silent auction. It's going to be a fun casino night with poker, roulette, craps, and blackjack tables. Bring your game face, because all that is going to support everything here happening with the Catalina Council here in Southern Arizona when it comes to Scouting America. I even have the event schedule, but let's have you tell us a bit about what's going on, and I'll give everybody the schedule of events.
Absolutely. So the Legends Ball, the Casino Royale, like as you said, it's our second annual event. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. It's designed to have fun, camaraderie, and to really support scouting. And you'll get to see some of our scouts at the event. You'll also get to understand how your support stays locally here in Southern Arizona. You know, I encourage anyone to come on out and have a good time. Last year was our first, and we had a blast. So everyone's excited to participate this year. Again, as you mentioned, we're going to have the casino games there, lots of silent auctions. You can win, various different trips, local experiences, things of that nature. But again, at the end of the day, it's to support the Catalina Council Scouting America. So everything we raise stays right here in Southern Arizona.
That's important. That's always what we're doing around here, and keeping that commerce here locally and supporting kids here locally. That's why it's important to be aware that, yes, go to CatalinaCouncil.org. Make sure you're supporting and being aware of our local chapter of Scouting America. And Don't forget that the evolution of it, and the fact that it's co-ed now. It's for your entire family can enjoy all of these great resources, all of this great fun, so that it is even a bit easier. Again, if you got multiple kids, you got brothers and sisters like I did, dropping those kids off at one spot is better than dropping off at all these various activities.
Absolutely. Well, that's important because you know what? Listen, it only made sense for us to be inclusive of both boys and girls, because the reality is it's a family type engagement. So a lot of times when our scouts would come, which were, male scouts, the sisters would get the same experience, just not get credit for it. They'd be participating in all the events and activities, but because they couldn't be a part of scouting, they weren't able to earn rank or advancement. So now it's all inclusive. Yeah,
that's, again, really important to do. And it just makes it a real fun family event. And
Absolutely.
That's what it is. Things have changed since, the 50s. How long have the Boy Scouts, when did the organization start as the Boy Scouts? How long has it been around?
We just celebrated 115 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And that's the difference. 115 years ago, yes, men did this and women did that. And that went on for quite a while.
Absolutely.
But things have changed a lot. My sister didn't play with dolls. She played with action figures with me. She played with Chitara, and I play with Lionel because the Thundercats. And we would do all things together.
Love the Thundercats.
That's right. Anytime I can bring them up. So that's exciting to talk about all that and to see the evolution of it happening and to see the success happening. How can people help your organization? Because I do notice there's a big donate button.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Tell them all about it.
Listen, we're always looking for donations to support scouting, whether it's through a scholarship, whether it's to, provide program opportunities. We're also looking for volunteers.
Yes.
This is a heavily volunteer-driven organization nationwide. And so we look for good volunteers who are committed to giving kids the best that they possibly can. It's all about having the best possible quality of life. We just don't have enough staff. We couldn't pay enough people to give that. We need committed volunteers, and we need volunteer dollars to support this movement.
That's the spirit. Go on to the website over at CatalinaCouncil.org. There is the Join Us button. There's a Donate button. Remember, if you can't donate your money, donate your time. Go volunteer. Find out how you can get involved with everything happening, because there are a lot of opportunities to get involved. Safety, a big key about everything, and they make sure of that, and that's all over the website. So don't worry about any of that. It's going to be a great time when you get together with Scouting America, especially the Catalina Council. Get involved with everything happening, because there is so much. And if you just want to go to that event and bet on yourself, because it's a big casino night. Check-ins at 5 o'clock. Cocktails and a silent auction starts, and the casino's open at 5:15 till 7:15. Then you get dinner and programming from 7:30 to 9, and then more casino and dancing, which sounds really fun.
Absolutely.
You got to have some of that. Everybody's going to have a good time at that event on November 15th. You can get those tickets now. Go score them so that you're not left in the lurch, and you have something to do that night. And it's something to do that's going to support this great organization. So let me just ask you, what are the goals going forward for Scouting America in 2026? What are you all talking about behind the scenes that you want to do this time next year? Because you've already made big advancements, because if this was 2 years ago, it's going to be, we want to start having this big annual fundraiser.
Absolutely.
And now you're already doing that, and that's huge. So what are like your next big moves here locally for what you're up to?
Our next big moves locally are just to really attract kids to the program. Again, it's important to let people know there are more things in social media. There is a life outside of the couch and outside of TV and our little handheld devices. And so our goals this year is to continue to do that great work. We are partnering with some of the school districts. Dr. Trujillo from TUSD has been very, very gracious and allowing us to start to implement some programs and after schools there. It's really to bring this movement forward, to recruit more kids and give them what we believe our community needs, and that is the citizenship, the character development, and leadership training.
Citizenship is a huge thing that I think more people need to think about. Remember, it's about integrity. It's about how you behave when nobody's looking. And that's what teaching scouts is. It's teaching them to be like a good human, to really care about their fellow man and to help.
That's right.
Right? To be helpful in our society. We're living in a society, people. And that's what it is to really guide them. And kids, and really anybody at all ages, I say this on any episode it comes up, a mentor can be so much more important to a young person's life, whether it's a coach or a teacher. They're going to get these messages through that sometimes a parent can't get through, because that's your mom and that's your dad.
Absolutely.
But a scoutmaster, all of that, they can really get through like a coach, like an adult that really has a bond with a kid that is different than those familial bonds.
And these are relationships that last throughout your life.
Yes.
I mean, they don't just start today and end tomorrow. These are lifelong relationships.
How long have you been with the organization?
Just a little over 2.5 years.
Okay. What is one of your favorite success stories in your time here that you've seen or experienced from someone in your organization?
I would say my favorite story is, I think about my second week on the job. I was able to go to the city of South Tucson to present some explorers with an award. Basically, what happened is they saw someone who was in medical need. They responded, they acted, they assisted her to get the appropriate medical attention, and they went on about their way. They didn't expect anything from it. So to be able to go and present that award, and see the shock on their face and feeling appreciated, it was, I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, I'm sure they never will either,
right?
Because that's a pinnacle moment. They help save someone like that.
Of course it is.
That might be one of the better success stories. I ask that question a lot. That might be one of the best answers ever.
I'm just having fun. I tell folks, my story to scouting is I wanted to be a scout when I was a kid, but mom looked at it as an expense. And, while we did okay financially, it just wasn't an opportunity. So I look at this as my second opportunity to be a scout.
Heck yeah, that's the spirit. It's never too late.
Never too late.
Never too late to get involved. So go get involved, because Scouting America, Catalina Council, catalinacouncil.org. A lot of ways to get involved, a lot of ways to donate, a lot of ways to volunteer. But really, the thing that you should be thinking about, getting your kids involved. That's the stuff. It's not hard to sell them on a national jamboree. It's not hard to sell them on all these fun events, camping, going on hikes, doing all this fun stuff in a big group with a big gaggle of friends.
Absolutely.
Right? I love group activities, and kids need to socialize. They want to socialize. That's the other part of it. Kids want to socialize. They want to make new friends. It's the thing that I hear the most when I talk to them, is making new friends is so important. And what better friends do you make than your friends in Scouts?
Exactly.
So, yeah, honestly.
And the thing about Scouts, it's a place for everyone.
Yes.
You asked me a moment ago about a memorable experience, and a second one comes into mind where we've got a couple of Scouts who are, as what I'd identify as a little socially awkward, and they found their place in Scouting.
Yes.
And they every time you see them, the glow on their face, and they feel like they belong and that they can really make, good friends for life.
Yeah. I give the same advice about volunteering, and that's how you adults go make friends.
Yes.
Go volunteer, and you're going to find people doing the things that you want to do. Because whether you're volunteering for a pet organization because you love dogs, or you're volunteering for this organization because you love kids and you love scouting, you're going to meet other folks that care about this same mission, that care about the same message, that have a shared experience of maybe they were a scout growing up, and you're going to make those friends. And that's what's important, is, again, human connection. Social media has done quite the damage to us all now. We're a couple decades into this big experiment, And we've
Correct.
seen the effect. And now we've seen the effect of your ability to just watch TV and play video games at everywhere kids go. And it's a shame to see it because it is adding to the socially awkwardness. I teach kids, and I know that that's one of their issues. It is that. And the thing about growing up, and this is again at any age, kids of all ages, you got to walk toward what scares you. That's what it is. You're intimidated to go ask someone else. Oh, you got to suck it up and do it.
That's right.
Right? You got to do it. You never know. I use this analogy all the time. If you're afraid of the dark and there's a dark room in front of you, that light switch might be right on the wall. You might not even have to walk all the way in. But at the same time, it might be across the room. If you slowly navigate your way in there, you're going to find that light switch and shed some light on your situation. And then you never know what you're going to see. So I really do recommend to everyone to find the thing you care about. But if you haven't yet, maybe it is Scouting America. And especially if you've got kids out there, grandkids perhaps, nieces and nephews, just tell them again, hey, I heard this great conversation about Scouting America again. Have you ever thought of that for your kid? I know that they're having a tough time.
That's right.
I think this would help them. And I know it would.
Absolutely. Of course it would.
It just does.
That's what we're there for. Again, there's no right or wrong answer, right? What we do is we want every kid to feel like they've got a place. And it's not a feeling, it's a reality. You will have a place in Scouting America, and you will have a place forever. And it's really interesting because most scouts, they don't just stop at Eagle. They become, as I'm going to call them, career scouts. We call them life scouts, but they stay with the scouting movement forever. Many of our board members were former scouts. Many of our volunteers were former scouts. It's just what happens when you become a scout.
I got another lofty one, and then time flies. What's a secret about Scouting America that we may not know?
A secret about Scouting America? Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of data out there that supports success of scouts. You've got astronauts who were scouts. You've got administrative leaders, such as in the White House, who were scouts. And a lot of times we overlook that. We just don't realize that many of these successful people in our community or in our world have touched scouting at one point or another in their lives.
There you go. It's about that structure. It's about having those mentors. It's about the integrity of being a good citizen. Because today, we made friends with Shannon Roberts, CEO and Scout Executive of Scouting America's Catalina Council, whose mission is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. Plenty to recap and plenty of time to do it as well. Go check out everything obviously over at scouting.org is the main one, or scouting.america on Instagram. And that's the same thing over on Facebook. CatalinaCouncil.org is our local chapter of Scouts. You can go follow them over at Catalina Council on Instagram and Facebook.com/Catalina Council. Keep in mind that big fun night that's coming on up because you don't want to miss it. November 15th, the Legends Ball of Tucson. It's going to be a great big event. Cocktails, a silent auction. You heard all that casino gambling, all that good stuff. But talking more about the conversation is what I like to do here. We've recapped what the great event is going to be, but let's recap what we actually spoke about because I clearly had my coffee that morning. And it was something to hear again because I was more of an evangelist in this one, as sometimes happens here on Lifestyle Tucson. But you can just hear me. I just care a lot about kids growing up. And it's a really important thing to let them do these things. Again, we were just talking about scuba earlier. Don't forget that part. And exposing them to all these great opportunities. You may find something that they love. And that's important for a kid. I feel that I am fortunate to have known what I want to be when I was in second grade, what I want to be when I grow up, right? And I managed to figure it out. Here I am on the radio. It was a dream come true because I worked really hard on it because it's not a dream, it's just a goal. So get your kids working on their goals. The earlier, the better. And Scouts is a good goal. And again, it's for everyone. Bring your sister too, bring your daughters, because they are now for every kid. And that's an important part. You heard how he put it. So I really had a great conversation with Shannon Roberts there, CEO here locally, talking to all these great people over at the Scouting America Catalina Council. I want to thank our new friends at Scouting America's Catalina Council for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes and Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts have merit. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and especially YouTube at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers, and Toot Toot Tucson. I love you the most.